Hello and welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in your corner of the world. I have a little entertaining show for you today. I was going through so much content and information, and it just flashed through my mind. So I'm basically going to let you inside of my thoughts here on what I saw when I was reading and going through the content. Really quick, the stablecoins are vulnerable to runs and may heighten risk, the Fed says, after I'm pretty sure if you've been investing for a while, you saw the UST get a beating from the whales yesterday. I'm not going to go into my opinion on the reasoning or anything. I'm just going to go into what we know, to be facts. So the whales were investing or basically taking a run on UST yesterday. It kind of created a crash, and I think it's going to, all play out as part of the regulatory clarity that we're looking for. And again, remember, when it comes to regulations, there's always a pro and there's always a con. There's always a yin and a yang. There's always perfect balance in everything. So I guess with the regulations that we're looking to stabilize in the industry, but we're also going to have the effects of the regulations at the same time. And I've always pointed out the SEC's I'm trying to be cautious with my statement there, but with the SEC's attack, let's give an example on Ripple. But having said that, Ripple is the only asset who's gone from day one and followed all of the regulatory guidance. So it is what it is, and that's why, from here, that's why we've always called Ripple the standard, or XRP the standard, as Ripple is in the court case with the SEC, and a win for Ripple is a win for all of crypto and digital assets. So whether you like them or hold them, invest in them or not, the thing that you want to do is support that Ripple wins this case, because it will affect all of crypto, and that will be the standard and the guidance for all of crypto moving forward. Having said that, really quick, let's get back into the discussion, because it's going to be a very tricky one as I have a lot of tabs open. Just want to breeze through so you can see what I see. Okay, yesterday was the run on UST. It kind of dropped the market, and now instantly out with the news, in yesterday's effects, we have stablecoins are vulnerable to runs and may heighten risk, the Fed says. Interesting, timing coincidence there. I'll let you make your own assumptions about that. Next up, I want to point out FedNow's progress on instant payments may weaken the case for the digital dollar. And as we're pushing, the digital dollar versus the CBDC. So we have the CBDC. Let's just, highlight this, because there's going to be a lot of new investors as well. But just as he was lighting the fire under the case of a U.S. central bank digital currency, the CBDC, the Federal Reserve was making a far lower profile announcement that undercuts one of the key arguments for a blockchain-based CBDC and its capacity to enable real-time payments. And really quick right here, I just want to highlight that. Guys, if you're working, stay out of trouble. If you're driving, stay safe. You can just listen to this, because I kind of design it. If you're jogging, if you're working or driving, whatever, you can listen and not really miss anything. And you can come back if I'm highlighting something on the screen and watch it at another time where you're safe, no harm to yourself or anyone around you. But I want to highlight on the screen, in the blue highlight about the middle, slightly right of your center screen, is the enable real-time payments. And why I want to bring that up is because of already with the discussion of the FedNow, I want to remind you, as back in the Dilbral times, he left around 2019 for Ripple and moved on. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he is still in Australia after his move on from Ripple. And when he was with Ripple, that's where he brought on two major banks as well from Australia. And that's when, I believe it was 2014 through 2019, they hired him on at Ripple full time, and he kind of made a huge impact, a dent, there you go, into Ripple. as well with the banking industry. So while neither the federal government nor Ripple has officially confirmed the FedNow will use Ripple's network or even blockchain tech, Ripple's global head of infrastructure innovation, Dilbral, tweeted yesterday the launch of the FedNow service was a great move. And that's where Ripple is already a part of the Federal Reserve's Faster Payments Task Force, with the company's head of research on the business development team, Ryan Zagone, elected as a member of its steering committee in 2015. But let me just highlight that really quick. The Federal Reserve's Faster Payments Task Force. Okay, now that one's highlighted in the center, lower portion of your screen. So again, drive safe, work safe, come back and check another time. Again, highlighting really quick, the Federal Reserve's Faster Payments Task Force. So that's why that's a big deal. And I also want to bring out, since the discussion of the Federal Reserve was moving away, basically promoting its version of the CBDC versus the digital dollar. And that's what I want to highlight again, where Ripple was already on the board of the FedNow Faster Payment Service. And then on Ripple's direct website, you have the future of CBDCs. The introduction of central bank digital currency CBDCs will be one of the defining transformations in the history of money. And again, guys, it is the future money, period. It's inevitable. We've already shown since 2019 on this channel, and even in private far beyond that as well, since 2015, that this was inevitable. It was coming. There was no stopping it. And that the legacy system that has been going on for, through SWIFT and others for the last 47 years, basically, has ran its due course, and it's time for new currency. And every industrial revolution, there's change. And again, this being the fourth industrial revolution, it's basically that's going to be part of this new change. This is the future of money. And again, the reason this is important to me is because, stating all of that directly from the Federal Reserve and the World Economic Forum, I want to point out a few things too here. You can take them as deep as you want, because there's other political connections as well to this, but I'm going to stay out of that. But I do want to highlight it for each and every person on your connections and your research, so that you can have the answers and solutions you're looking for. And again, the World Economic Forum was founded and established back in 1971. And why is that an important date? I'm going to get to that very shortly. But why the Federal Reserve should be the world's central bank, directly from the World Economic Forum. And again, guys, with every single video that we make, in the description below, we provide the links so you can come back and research them yourself. If you're a new person here on this channel, hit that like and subscribe, and you can follow us and hit the notification bell, and you will get each and every one of our new videos as we release them. Okay, so we see here basically the run on the UST, and then that was kind of bringing up the Federal Reserve's issue on stablecoins. Also, what the Federal Reserve coming back up into the discussion of the digital dollar versus the CBDC. You see that they're promoting the CBDC. What did we show? But Ripple having its foundation as well, going into discussion on the future of CBDCs. And then I wanted to highlight really quick the World Economic Forum, and this is specific with a lot of things going on both economically and politically around the world. I wanted to highlight that just for you, because you would know exactly what that stands and means. So the Federal Reserve should be the world's central bank, directly from the World Economic Forum, and you've seen already where their stance is on that. But I also too want to highlight back into 1971. What was that? In 1971, President Nixon stopped the convertibility of the US dollar to gold. He removed the gold backing from the US dollar back in 1971. And again, what do we show here? But 1971, the World Economic Forum was founded. And then what did they say? The Federal Reserve should be the world's central bank. And what are they pushing for with the CBDCs? And who was on the board? Ripple. And now Ripple is also showing the future of CBDCs. But also what I want to keep pointing out, as we have since the beginning of this channel, we've shown, I think we did an exclusive show. It's been a few years and a few hundred videos. I think we're over 1,000 now, or very close to it, videos, so I can't quite point it out. But we did a video on all the gold-backed cryptocurrencies, and at the time I believe there was at least 54 back then, and I believe it was in 2019 we released that video, as we had a discussion a few times in different shows that we were hosting, guest appearance on as well. So it's pretty exciting. But the crypto backed by gold is a rare, bright spot this year as investors respond to the volatile stock market and stagflation fears. And again, I want to keep moving forward with that theme in mind now. Novati is to launch AUD stablecoin leveraging Stellar blockchain. Novati Group Limited, a leading fintech enabling business to pay and be paid, announced this week that it will launch an Australian dollar, the AUD-backed stablecoin leveraging the open source Stellar blockchain. And also, again, because of what we were mentioning in the previous part of the video for the FedNow, Federal Reserve, and you also have Stellar for CBDCs as well. So again, we've shown Ripple and Stellar basically moving forward with the, open source and the ability to build CBDCs on that. We've also shown that, over the past few years, Ukraine and others are building their CBDCs on Stellar, and we already have gold-backed Stellar with Paymon as well for Iran. Also, the Japan's SBI Group, coming back to the discussion of Ripple and XRP, is to adopt XRP payments despite SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. And just my quick opinion on that, I believe that's because they know Ripple is going to win and XRP is really going to take off because it's already the foundation and the direct or indirect connection for the new financial institutions for cross borders around the world. And also to hear a little bit of a jump of discussion, but going into the theme and staying with the fourth industrial revolution that is happening all around us, harnessing the fourth industrial revolution for our technologies for climate change mitigation in the Asia Pacific region. And what do we have Ripple facing right now is the whole climate thing. And what is the greatest asset in the Asia Pacific region? The exclusive supply chain asset. I'll give you about 3 seconds to see if you can get that right. Feel free to comment below. 1, 2, 3. And right here we have Vechain. In China, car manufacturers and energy solution providers, the BYD, in collaboration with Vechain and DNVGL, are developing carbon credit applications to empower digital technologies, and this technology can estimate the mileage, fuel, and electricity consumption. With the collection and processing of data, users can monitor, analyze, and calculate the level of carbon emissions and generate the distribution of carbon credits recorded in the blockchain. And that is something, I don't remember if it's 2019 or 2020, like probably the first quarter of the year, we were discussing everything that's coming with Vechain, and it's kind of been delayed as well. And again, that's why we see, and that's why we say and show the favorites of this channel are 4 completely different industries. And as far as the focus and design for our investments, XRP wholesale, we have XLM for the retail, we have XDC for trade supply, we have Vechain or VET for the supply chain. And again, guys, remember these tokens have the ability and capability of far beyond what their design is for their, or I should say the focus of their design. They're very massive, and that's something that is very exciting to me as well, because we've also shown even recently Vechain being used as a currency, even though it is a supply chain. We've shown XDC as it is the default token for XR Corda, or I'm sorry, the R3 Corda. Mine is going so fast, it's tough to keep up, because back in the, when this channel first started, it was very much difficult to find any content without exclusively like deep research. And now there's so much information pouring out, you try to stay on top of it. But it's very exciting for the investors of these assets, because they are the massive ones for what they're designed and they're focused on doing. So as always, guys, I want to leave you with a final thought before we go. Don't watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. And remember, this is not financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. Much love to each and every one of you, and we will catch you in the next one.